Season's bleedings. It's Xmas in October this year, with the much-anticipated Terrifier 3. This was my most hyped film this year, and well, it may be another lesson in not hyping things up. To begin, I love All Hallows Eve, Terrifier 1, and Terrifier 2. Has worn out his welcome in this holiday horror flick? Let's get into the review. Damien Leone continues where Terrifier 2 left off. We see what happens at the hospital and Chris Jericho and Crew's fates. I gotta say, it's a solid film, but I don't know. I guess I expected more from it. This franchise has too many unwarranted controversies. I still don't see how you'd vomit or leave watching these films, especially if you've already seen the other one in theaters a couple years ago, and then you go on this like, what were you expecting? Plus, I'm not gonna get into it, but I've seen people talk about what they did for this one, and kind of a dirty, lame, really? You did this to get the publicity? This is all supposedly, from what I've seen online, that they didn't know they were going to see this movie. They were just going to see a Christmas film of some sorts, and they got people who weren't expecting this to react this way to get those reactions. Kind of shady. And I always wondered how these controversies are. Everything's controversial. The opening scene in this film is controversial. I'm like, it was not that bad. I mean, it would have been bad if you would have showed things, but it wasn't that controversial. I mean, because involving kids? I mean, technically, All Hallows Eve did that already, but I digress. I don't know. I mean, these films are on par with things like Saw, Hellraiser, The Thing, Evil Dead. There are some gross, cringy things in that. Hell, Peter Jackson's old films are, for example, Meet the Feebles or Dead Alive have some really gross out stuff, and all those gore fish from the 80s flicks where it's always something with cannibalism and bugs and just all sorts of stuff with animals and creepiness. This is, really good effects. I mean, again, they did a great job with all the effects and the kills. They look great, grisly, and real here again. But it's like, come on, maybe I'm just too desensitized. I don't know, but I mean, especially if you've seen these ones already, how are you reacting to this? You shouldn't be reacting anymore. I don't know. I was just let down by the kills, I guess. Over the top as always, but they seemed more of the same, redundant. Art cuts a guy in half this time, ha ha ha, funny, it's a guy this time. Remember the first movie? And how people bitched about it? To this day, they're still bitching about it? Well, he decided, I guess, Damien's like, well, here's my response to that. Fine, you happy? Equality. I'm gonna do it to a guy this time. The same damn thing, just splitting them in half. And instead of going down her vag and showing her boobies, we're just gonna be like, you know what, there, you're gonna be a little bit of a fake floppy wee-wee. It's weird. If I were him, and people complaining about this and accusing me of things and misogyny, all this weird stuff, again, more men get killed in these movies than women. Again, they don't suffer the same long, drawn out, and like really gross and just horrible fates as men do. They're usually done pretty quick. It's a horror movie. You watch the horror movie, most people don't seem to care about men. So of course you're gonna care more when it happens to a woman, and the leads of these things are always female in horror movies. So of course it's gonna be. People go to see them for the final girls. She's gonna have all these friends that are girls, people around here that are girls, so of course they're gonna be ones there. The other characters are just gonna be expendable characters that are in the background. I don't get it. There's no pleasing these people. So if I were him, I would just double down and be like, you know what? Screw that. We're going to do like the first one again, but you're going to get this close-up of me just going right inside that tuna, right inside that pink, and you're just going to see it all swirled up and gross. I don't want to see that. That's nasty. But hey, double down. Cut off her boobs and juggle with them or something next time, buddy. Come on, Art. You're a clown. Juggle. Juggle some boobs. Of course, we can't have that stuff anymore. This is modern horror films. It can only be male nudity, especially graphic male nudity. Boy, yikes. It gets kind of annoying. So I wasn't really impressed with this because it just seemed like this was only a reaction and done only because of the complaints of the previous films. Now it's like, good. I mean, we already had dick stuff in the second one. This one went more into it. I mean, it was funny with the chainsaw, I think. I'll give him that. But it was more of that. We get 1 second of slashing the girl's tits, and then, no, we're going to keep doing this. And it's like, I wasn't impressed with it. When everyone's talking about that one in the opening scene, I wasn't too impressed with those. I was more impressed by Santa Claus and, quite frankly, the mother with the rats. That felt bad. Hell, even the shard of glass masturbation scene. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The kills all seem the same. What was so great about that opening one there? Yes, it involved kids, but you didn't see it. But then the father, spoilers, it's the same thing. You're seeing chunks and limbs ripped and sawed, caving in his head. The mom goes running off, and then stuff happens to her that we've seen in the other two films. Pretty much every kill in this was the same stuff of the other two films. So there was nothing really, I mean, sure, they did stuff with freezing, but that's been done before. Jason did it better in space, I have to say. Delicious snow cones. But I just wasn't impressed with that. I still think the original kill that this one was trying to mock and do better from falling into line of the femmes and the people who don't really care about these films to begin with, and him bending the knee, I think the original one was better. The scene, I'm still traumatized by that poor girl Allie from the second one there with the bleach and the salt on the wounds. Poor girl. And the mother with the mashed potatoes. I felt more for that. I guess I felt more for the characters in that one than I do in this one. They were just kind of thrust upon us. It's a shorter film. There wasn't enough screen time for us to care about them. I didn't care about the family except for, I guess, the little girl, Gabby, what's her name? I guess that's it. There was a little bit of stuff that we knew about with the girl with the podcast and the boyfriend of hers, but it's still just not enough for me to care as much as the others. But again, what's annoying is like, oh, can't do women anymore like that, but hey, wieners twice in a row. I can't wait till part 4 where we'll see no female nudity again, but we'll get male butt, penises, and balls everywhere, destroyed in such gruesome ways. Boy, current modern horror has gotten lame. Boobs bad, male stuff good. Yuck, that's just silly. Like, again, who wants to see that? What would Alfred Hitchcock do with this scene if you could make it more of this? Don't compare yourself to him. I love you, buddy. You're doing great with these. Don't compare yourself or even come close to talking about Hitchcock, okay? And he won't even do something like this, even if he could go balls to the wall, okay? Oh, there you go. There's an idea. Next time, have him juggle, because you won't be able to juggle boobs. Juggle some balls. Juggle his testicles and just throw them against the wall, and then he can laugh. People and go, hey, balls on the wall. I'm so creative and funny. Again, the first film, the second film, wow. And I'm really getting tired of people talking about this hatred towards women and the misogyny to the director, which I feel for him. But again, I would just double down and be like, F you. But the men get just as brutalized. I don't get it. I can go on and on. But oh well. And again, art is evil. Who cares? It's art. Art apparently really hates women. He hates children. By golly, who would have thought that an evil demon character would hate people like that? Shocking. Even though I didn't see the opening Christmas beginning as controversial, I mean, I guess I don't want to see the children getting mangled. That would have been a no-no. But it wasn't that bad. Again, we've seen all this stuff before, and I feel like that's what's happening with this series. We need more of the storytelling that they were trying to do in the second one, and do that along with these kills. Otherwise, it just seems like it is, as everyone says, the torch upon. I don't want this to go down that path. Come on, I want stories. 4 better have a lot of story in there. This one focused more on Art doing his stuff, and less of the story, in my opinion, because Sienna and her brother and everything were barely in this. But again, it was a good start to this, and it set you up for the old Christmassy-ness of it, so I really did enjoy it still. But I'm not gonna say it's controversial or the best scene, and neither was the shower one. They were just kinda, seen this before, I'm not impressed. But again, Santa Claus, Daniel Roebuck. I was as giddy as Aunt when I saw him. And Clint Howard as a drunk. But again, spoilers, 2 of the 3 people in that scene just get shot. We've seen that already. Santa's kill was nice, though. I did like that. oh, boy. Overall, I felt no kill really top stuff from the first 2 films. Oh, and also, don't forget, speaking of cameos, Tom Savini. Yay! Terrifier 3 felt a little unfocused. The film was, Art kill someone. Now back to Sienna. Back to Art. Back to Sienna. I don't know, I felt like Halloween ends again, whereas Sienna was a strong survivor in part 2. Then in 3, she goes back, reverting to her traumatized, weak self. And then Jonathan not believing in her and going against her. What happened to them being together? They were separate from the film, then this whole thing, it just seemed weird. Jonathan was barely in it. Like Halloween Ends. Laurie acts different now. Allison throws everything away for some loser who got beat up by nerds. And then Hawkins and Lindsay were in it for a minute. No, don't make me think of comparisons to that. But as usual, bravo to everyone again. Lauren Lavera was great, Elliot Fulham was great, and David Howard Thornton again do a superb job as expected. And everyone else, I felt like we're just fine too. I felt for a lot of people, but just, I wish there would have been more for me to care even more. I know these people are all meant to be killed. So, I don't know. I didn't have as much of a worrisomeness that I did in the last 2 films. I get what they were trying to do, but I wish the 2 siblings stuck together instead of just giving us these new characters that were tossed in. And then he gets tossed aside for Gabby. Gabby was fine. I liked her. I felt I was worried about her. I didn't want anything to happen to her. But it felt very Halloween 5. Toss out Rachel, and instead we get ba-ba-da, Tina with Jamie. Also not a fan of Sienna seeing Brooke dead corpse ghost thing. And I guess they were trying to do homages or something, but it didn't make sense. They only did for her. Why didn't she see anyone else then? At least could have showed us the mom or something. I don't know. The problem again is Terrifier 3, I didn't care about the people who got killed. We get these characters that are thrown in, this family, last minute, you know what they're gonna do. There wasn't much character development. Again, Gabby, sure. And the main siblings, sure. I guess that this one was more of a focus on, again, on Art and Victoria, and I really like their chemistry and their togetherness and them going at it together. Not like that, although people were hoping that would have happened. That would have been effed up. I would have probably have enjoyed that more than some of the stuff in here. But she was nuts, and I love the whole thing at the end where she just gets her face to look like him, the crown of thorns and everything. Oh, the ending was actually very good. Rushed, happened just like that, and I was like, oh, we're here already. I guess they're like, oh crap, we fixed the pacing issue on this one, but at the same time, we gotta end this. And then out of nowhere, ending. I don't know. It just seemed like, wow, we got here pretty fast. Oh, well. But again, in the first two films, I cared about Sienna, Jonathan, their mom, Allie, Brooke, just like the girls from the first film I cared about, Tara and Dawn. I didn't want to see these people die, so I felt for them. These ones, And the shocks just weren't as shocking either. They were then, but not this. And then I don't get this whole thing with the vessels, and I like the whole demonology, heaven vs. hell type stuff there. Very well done. I like it. I want to see more of that. Hopefully we'll get more backstory with the father. We got a little bit in this one, a nice little thing there, but I want to see more. It just got more questions for me. And what with the clown girl? She wasn't needed? Was she ever needed since Vicky was still around? I don't know. And then why does he need these vessels? I don't know. Did he need them the first? So many things I'm not understanding. Kind of all over the place. Plot hole-ish and pots, and the dagger seemed less magical this time around. This was almost Silent Night, Deadly Night with Art, but if only there was just a little more. The kids in the mall scene was great. Disturbing. Funny. But he was hilarious there. Everyone was enjoying him. People were reacting more to Art and his mannerisms and everything. I love when he's just slapping Sienna around like, bitch. You know, like, it's just a choice. It's wonderful. They react to that more than the kills. Because I think now we're getting a little to like, I've seen this. It's nothing new. But Art, he is entertaining. The final battle was amazing. Halloween Ends could have learned from this somehow, if that was possible. Not as long as Terrifier 2, which I liked that it went on in a slower pacing. I liked a lot of it. But it was great seeing this. It was really good. I mean, just another knockout performance by everybody. I enjoyed it. I want to see more of these characters. I know one of them supposedly, but I don't believe it. I believe it's from a certain someone from the opening scene that was really there. And Art and Victoria were just doing that and using that to get at our girl Sienna. So I think everyone who's supposed to be will be in the next one. But still, great stuff. They are evil, sick people, freaky, taking it to another level. But I still think I enjoyed part 2 more. Again, they all did a superb job. I just find it funny that are people really such pussies? I mean, come on. There's been worse stuff in these films. Alone. But I don't know. I felt 3 was a letdown in just some of those ways. And that's basically all I have to say. But I still enjoyed it. It's good for the holiday season. And hopefully this isn't a sign that things are wearing too thin and we're getting into territory where it's like, oh no, I'm getting kind of tired of it now. We gotta change it up. Do something else. Come on. We don't want Art to go down that route. He's awesome. Oh, and by the way, at the end there's a music video. Ice 9 kills. They kill it. What's a surprise, and wow. So enjoyable. Art's in it. And this is definitely a work of art. And holy cow, he kills like everybody. The kill count in this is nuts. And there's a woman in there that has a baby. She gets her head stomped, and that was like, damn. And it's played by Catherine Corcoran, who was in Terrifier 1. So that was neat. Art not only kills people, and everyone does all this, but he gets to go on stage and play instruments. It's crazy, catchy fun, a bloodbath. I loved it. Art is now up there with Jason, Freddy, Ghostface in terms of music collabs. Great fun. So overall, very good. The touch of death? No! I love Art the Clown. I love Terrifier. Everyone does a good job. I just hope the 4th one, don't listen to these people, buddy. Just do your thing. If people complain about stuff, double, triple down on it. Come on. We got to see 2 movies in a row now with guys getting their things off. Can the 4th one, can we at least get some boobies? Come on. It's not horror without those. Hopefully nothing to do with beavers, but hey, whatever. We'll take what we can get. But it's craziness and insanity. Art is such a character, and I love his old Buster Keaton kind of silent movie acting ways. Like the scene when they're talking to him and he's reacting. You know how he's feeling when he sees Santa Claus. When he's just doing all this. He is a character. Love. With the weaknesses in this one that I feel, it's still, he shines. But I want to see more from Sienna. She kind of took a back seat. She didn't really grow too much in this. I like how she kind of regressed back. Hopefully she rises up and be's that final girl we all know she can be. I wish there was more of her in this. Why don't they believe her still? It's 2 movies now. Come on. Let's just get better with the writing and everything, and I know you can do it, and this can get that great status. I look forward to 4. Hopefully then for 4 improvements for, well, this one. But still, it's the holiday season, and Art's making bloody snow angels. Absolutely love it. Great stuff. Really good. I still enjoy Terrifier 1 and 2 more. So, hey, but it works. Probably go see it again anyway. You know, I wish they released all of them in theaters. All Hallows Eve and the first one, too. Why not do it? Come on, Damien. F all of them. Come on. Don't listen to these people. Keep being you. Let art just shine. Fun stuff. So that's my review. And yeah, ho, ho, ho. No. It's over. Did you like my shades? Till next time. Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe, I guess.